Chapter 24, From Nagpur to Lahore.
Within a matter of minutes, we were ready to leave for Lahore. We did not get time even to send a message about our departure to friends outside. Bhai Mansha Singh and other friends were eagerly expecting our release from Nagpur. They had even made elaborate arrangements for special rejoicings and jubilations, but unfortunately, they could not even get the bare information of our sudden departure.
I was taken in a car to the railway station. On the way, I eagerly looking for someone who could carry a message to the Punjabi lines, but I could not see a single Sikh on the road who could possibly do it. Even if I could find a Congressite friend nearby, he would have at once delivered the message. It was perhaps the will of God that I should leave my place in utter secrecy. People might have been tempted to follow me in a procession and made some flattering demonstrations which might have fired my vanity. I was, however, anxious to have a glimpse of those affectionate souls who had bestowed so much love on me. A meeting with any one of the friends would have given me great consolation.
On reaching the railway station, I was given a berth in the third-class compartment by the police guards accompanying me. I was still anxiously looking out for someone to carry my parting message to friends living in the Punjabi lines. I saw 3 Sikh railway policemen coming towards my compartment. They were on duty and walked this way and that way on the platform, not knowing that someone was eagerly waiting for them to come nearer so that he may unburden his overwhelming feelings. When they came near my compartment, I greeted them with folded hands, saying, "Vahe Guru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vahe Guru Ji Ki Fateh. Of God is the Khalsa, victory unto the Lord."
They returned the greetings respectfully and warmly grasped my hands, as if they knew me from a long time. Although their faces were unknown, the goodwill their hearts radiated created an unusual intimacy. Seeing some policemen with me, they guessed somehow that I was the unfortunate prisoner whose sufferings had caused a sensation throughout the country and prayers had been offered everywhere. "Can we be of any service, Bhai Sahib?" they asked. I requested them to somehow inform my friends in the Punjabi lines about my departure. One of them immediately ran off to the Punjabi lines, while the other 2 started fetching me as best they could. They brought ice, fruit, and other edibles, for which I thanked them and accepted what little I could eat. They felt extremely happy and wished they had known about my arrival on the station earlier. Punjabi lines were far off when, after 15 minutes, the train engine gave the whistle. No one had arrived. Even up to the last moment, I was hoping that someone might come. At last, I left the message with the railway policeman in the words of the 10th Master, Guru Gobind Singh.
Go tell the beloved friend the condition of his yearning disciple. Without thee, rich coverings are an endless agony. To live in the comforts of our households is like living with snakes. Our pitchers have become like pikes on which men are impaled. The cup we drink from has an edge like a dagger. Beloved, thy turning away from us is like what a beast endures from the slaughterer.
With the beloved, a mattress of straw would please us. Without him, in rich houses, we are burned alive. Guru Gobind Singh.
Like a stream separated from the river, I was moving away from devoted friends, hoping that by the grace of God, I would meet them again in spiritual communion at least. The train steamed off, and the next stoppage was Itarsi Station.
Chance meeting with Akali Kaur Singh. There was a long stoppage at Itarsi Junction. I got down from my compartment and was strolling on the platform when an unknown person offered me a large watermelon. I had never tasted such a delicious watermelon before. This sweet offering of love was more than sufficient to appease my hunger. All of a sudden, I saw a very handsome divine man with a glowing, radiant face. He had lovely white beard and was dressed like medieval Akali saints. Without recognizing and without formal greetings, we embraced each other. As we met in this warm, affectionate embrace, we were happy beyond expression. As I looked at that grand personality, trying to recognize him, he asked me, "Have you not recognized me, Bhai Sabji?" "Are you not Akali Kar Singh?" I asked. We had met after 25 years, and he was really happy I recognized him. I had met him in his early youth when he was just getting a beard. He was then very handsome and had a deep spiritual glow of his lovelorn face. He had then just been baptized into the Khalsa holy order, and the radiance of his soul wedded to the highest religious ideals could be seen from this inspired youthful face. He had aged a little, yet on his glowing face and white beard there was a radiance which is hard to describe. Now, after 16 years of imprisonment, I had met a saintly Sikh from the free world for the first time.
Akali Kaur Singh was traveling in an inter-class compartment. He took me and my little luggage to his compartment and gave me a comfortable seat there. Knowing my abstemious habits of Viveka ideal, discrimination in food, he looked after my comforts and requirements. He took out some sals, ground barley, from his bag and mixed them with cold water. This humble fare removed all my hunger and thirst. Then we talked for many hours. He gave me the latest news of the heroic fight of the Sikhs for their rights. We discussed innumerable subjects. Akali Kaur Singh traveled with me up to Delhi. There were some more Sikhs in the compartment who fulfilled an unasked desire of informing my friends and relatives about my departure from Nagpur to Lahore. From Delhi, Akali Kaur Singh sent some more telegrams to my family, Gyani Nahar Singh, and other friends. I can never forget this act of kindness and love of the great soul.
At Delhi, I parted with Akali Kaur Singh. Delhi reminded me of the days of Gurdwara movements, which started with the Rock of Ghani episode. Just then, another unfortunate thing had happened at Gurdwara Sishganj, which pained me very much. The telegrams given to my village home did not reach my people in time, but Gyani Nahar Singh received the information before my arrival. It was getting dark when the train reached Amritsar, and on the platform stood Gyani Nahar Singh and Gyani Harbhajan Singh carrying flowers and fruits.
I had been separated from them since a long time. There was a very large crowd of many unknown admirers and well-wishers. As soon as I stepped out of the train, people rushed towards me with overflowing love and affection. One after the other, they came forward to greet me, and I embraced each one of them warmly. As there was very little time at our disposal, such meetings with individuals had to be cut short. Gyani Nahar Singh then gave a brief introduction of all the people who were present. Some important news were also given to me. Gyani-ji had much to say, so he accompanied me to Lahore. During an hour's journey to Lahore, we talked and discussed many things, but the hour passed like a minute, and we reached Lahore station. Gyani-ji went to S.B. Mehtab Singh's residence, while I was taken to my usual abode, the prison.
I was first taken to a police station near the railway station, but they refused to accept me. Then I was taken to a Narkali police station. Everyone was asleep. It was almost midnight. The officer in charge of the police lockup came out feeling disturbed and upset and said to the policeman accompanying me, "Why could you not find a place for him in the police lockup near the railway station?" The havildar in charge of me said, "They refuse to accept him or take any responsibility for him because he is a B-class prisoner. He can be lodged only in this place,
so you better give him a place here without any further question. He must be given rest for the night here, and in the morning he must be taken to the central jail." The officer in charge got up hesitantly and opened a special room for me. When I entered the room, I saw an English internee lying drunk. The room was stinking with the foul smell of wine, and the whole atmosphere was intolerable. I flatly refused to get into the room. "I will not spend the night in this room," I said, "even if you give me a reward of 100 rupees to do so." The dozing officer took up his bunch of keys and opened another room. It was quite cool and clean. It was the hot season, and the temperature quite high.
The officer switched on the electric lamp and the electric fan. I spread my bed on a cot. There was a water tap nearby and a commode in the corner. I was left all alone to enjoy my rest in calm solitude. This was for the first time that I enjoyed an electric fan. It had not been invented before I entered the prison. I enjoyed a restful sleep. The next morning, I was taken to Lahore Central Jail.
Mr. Chopra was the superintendent of the Central Jail, Lahore. I was taken straight to his room. After examining my challan, letter of advice, and prison history sheet, he asked me, "Would you like to stay in B class or with your companions and friends in C class?" To which I replied, "I am not particular about the B class. They offered this class to me at Nagpur, but I preferred staying with my friends in C class."
Mr. Chopra first talked to Bhai Chur Singh separately and then introduced him to me. As soon as Bhai Chur Singh saw me, he embraced me, and for a moment we both forgot the presence of the jail superintendent. We had never met before, because he was sentenced to life imprisonment in the Lahore conspiracy case and had been sent to Andaman Island. We, the prisoners of the supplementary Lahore conspiracy case, had been sent to Hazaribagh. When we were in Madras Presidency Prison, the prisoners from Andaman Island, including Bhai Chur Singh, were also brought there, but we were all lodged in different jails, so we were not able to meet each other there. I had heard a good many stories of the heroic deeds of Bhai Chur Singh. One such story, which was a recent occurrence, had impressed me deeply. One prisoner, Bhai Jawala Singh, was ordered to be whipped, and as he was very weak, Bhai Chur Singh offered to be whipped in his place. Bhai Chur Singh had never seen me, but he had become a great devoted admirer. I had never met anyone who was so eager to meet me and bestow his affection and love. So on meeting me, his joy knew no bound. He said, "Blessed am I, blessed is this moment of unexpected meeting with the hero and beloved friend whom I have been longing to meet."
Out of all the political prisoners, the superintendent jail had the greatest faith in Bhai Chur Singh. All the junior officers in charge of the political prisoners' block respected him and served him as they would serve a master. After seeing us meet in this warm and affectionate manner, the superintendent advised Bhai Chur Singh to take me with him and lodge me in his block in his company. Arm in arm, he led me to his cell. As he led me, he continued his charming talk about our past. After spending nearly 15.5 years in various prisons all over India, we were now back in Lahore jail, from where our life sentence began. As I moved on, accompanied by Bhai Chur Singh, I came to the same block from where we were taken to a Multan jail in fetters.
The prison cells in this block were close to each other, but the prisoners had a different look. Now all the Sikh prisoners were wearing turbans. What a contrast it was to that ugly spectacle of 1915-16, when the Sikhs were deprived of turbans as soon as they came to the prison. They were given clownish caps, and with this ridiculous headdress their faces looked horrible. Now, with their lovely turbans and Koch trousers, they didn't even look like prisoners. Formerly, they seemed to have lost all their manhood and appeared to be subhuman creatures put in the cage. Now, with the symbols and uniform of Guru Gobind Singh,
They appeared to be handsome and saintly souls.
Within a matter of minutes, news spread throughout the prison that the first prisoner of the Gurdwara reform movement, who had undertaken a fast for 40 days and procured for all types of Sikh prisoners, political and others, the right to wear turbans and Sikh symbols, was now in their prison. In small groups, they came to me and expressed unbounded gratitude for procuring them their religious rights. They warmly appreciated my determined struggle to lead a Sikh life in the face of such oppression and fighting for right of the Sikh prisoners to wear turbans and keep the symbols.
I was taken to a cell and seated there. When some of my old companions came to know about my arrival, they all came rushing to meet me. From one prison cell came Bhai Pakar Singh of Dudike. From another appeared Bhai Harnam Singh of Kalasanja. From one corner came Brother Kirpa Singh, all smiles. All old friends came there from one side or the other. Everyone met me with a warm embrace. In joy and exultation, the long-separated friends met me and talked about the saga of separation and suffering in prisons for the past many years. Brother Kirpa Singh and Brother Pakar Singh undertook the duty of preparing my food with great eagerness and devotion. Everyone was now getting the dark blue turbans. The whole staff and the internees of the prison were greatly impressed by the character and work of my old companions. Bhai Chuhar Singh was given the duty of distributing milk to the sick and ailing prisoners. He would personally go to every prisoner and give him his own milk. The prisoners derived a peculiar satisfaction in taking milk from his hands.
After about a month, my bosom friend Bhai Kartar Singh of Nawan Chan was transferred to Lahore prison. We were all very happy. The recitation of Guru Bani, the sacred hymns, again became a daily routine. According to my wishes, he was given a prison cell just opposite mine. Sukhmani and Sukhmana of Guru Ram Das were recited by turn after evening prayers, so clearly that the prisoners in the whole block could hear them. 24 Ashtapadis of Guru Ram Das, which form Sukhmana Sahib, are Bilawal, Nat Narayan, Kannada, Kalyan, 6 Ashtapadis in each raga. After the congregational prayer, Ardas, Kirtan was performed every day. The new political prisoners from other blocks would come and join us. I met Dr. Basant Singh here for the first time. The very first meeting developed into a deep friendship of spiritual union. It was as if a loving friend of past life met me for the first time in this life after long separation. There developed a great love and affection between us within a few days, and he shared with me the religious and spiritual ideals and practices, and became a companion on the spiritual path. His life now became a purely religious life of a bhakta.
The political prisoners of the 1930 civil disobedience movement also came to our block, and the gatherings of satsang, holy congregation, increased. The doors remained open the whole day. We were at first given permission to hold prayers and religious discussion in the daytime under the trees for about 2 hours. Bhai Veer Singh's famous works Guru Nanak Chamatkar, Reflective Life of Guru Nanak, and Kalgihar Chamatkar, Reflective Life of Guru Gobind Singh, were read for about months together. After some time, we were permitted to hold even the evening prayers and kirtan in the open. These blissful congregational meetings continued till it was quite dark. Our block was generally the last to be locked. At the end of these congregational meetings, there were loud cries of Sat Sri Akal, which were heard throughout the prison and far away.
Young men who had been in prison recently felt strongly inclined towards religious life. The patriotic fighters of freedom, the Desh Bhaktas, and all other political prisoners, developed a religious bent of mind. The prison officers were happy and felt relieved on seeing that the disturbing and rowdy element was now calmed.
The daroga of the prison, Khan Sahib Mohad Akbar, village Ki Fime Ki Kai, district Firozpur, was particularly impressed. He developed a deep respect for me. His life as a prison official had considerably hardened him towards the prisoners. His attitude towards me was very gentlemanly.
In his heart, he had developed a deep respect for the spiritual life of the Sikhs. He met me very often and did whatever I asked him to do. Whenever the political prisoners wanted him to do anything, they got it done through me. Whenever the political prisoners agitated for anything, he would ask me to pacify them and ask them to do things tactfully and peacefully. The political prisoners even obeyed my old companions. All the prisoners and the officials and clerks of the prison addressed me as Babaji, and they agreed to comply even with my wayward suggestions. The daroga respected me for this reason also. Whenever anyone came to meet me, he arranged the meeting with particular interest, generally in his own room.
Release from Lahore Central Jail.
Before this meeting, Bhai Sundar Singh Guman, Gyani Nahar Singh, and other relatives had already met me. I had already come to know that I had been transferred from Nagpur to Lahore in connection with my early release. Bhagat Jaswant Singh had already told me in the presence of the daroga that preparations were underway and orders for early release were expected soon. After the visitors had left, the daroga also told me that some correspondence in connection with my release was already going on with the higher authorities, and my unconditional release was expected very soon. He, however, asked me to keep this confidential. Bhagat Jaswant Singh had also told me that the release would be unconditional. A few days later, Sardar Bahadur Sant Singh, CID superintendent, also met me in the jail superintendent's office. From my talks with him, it was clear that the release would be unconditional. My meeting with Sardar Sant Singh was very interesting and delightful. I do not remember all that transpired between us, nor do I remember the details of our conversation. It would be sufficient to say that the replies given by me to his questions impressed him deeply and profoundly.
He also did not talk to me in a roundabout way like police officers, but put very plain questions and talked very frankly. My plain answers appeared to have moved him deeply.
After this day, both the jail superintendents and the daroga started showing even greater reverence. The daroga paid frequent honorific visits, and whenever he came, he offered his services to oblige me in every way. I would generally say that when the time came, I would ask him to do something important. One day he pressed me to make this special request, and I agreed to tell if he promised to do what I asked.
Daroga, I will do all that is possible to fulfill your wishes within the limits of my powers.
Now that you have promised, I will make a request.
Daroga, please do tell me. Whatever is possible, I will certainly do. May I now know how can I serve to fulfill your wishes?
It is something within your powers. There is a young man named Bhagat Singh in the prison. He is very anxious to meet me. I wish to meet him before I am released. Please arrange the meeting. I had received a number of messages from Bhagat Singh through Bhai Chuhar Singh that he was anxious to meet me. I informed him in reply that as he was a renegade from Sikh faith, I would not like to see him in his clean-shaven appearance, pictures of which I had seen. On hearing this, he repeated the request with tears in his eyes and asked Bhai Chuhar Singh to persuade me to see him at all cost. When Bhai Chuhar Singh told me this, I made up my mind to see him.
The daroga said that it was quite a difficult thing to do, but since he had given the promise, he assured me that he would definitely arrange the meeting. He also assured me that the meeting would take place before I was released and before Bhagat Singh met death sentence. The only difficulty was that it was not easy to persuade the superintendent to arrange the meeting, because the day I had arrived in Lahore jail, Bhagat Singh had put up an application seeking permission to meet me, and the superintendent had categorically refused him permission, saying that he could meet any prisoner except Randir Singh.
So you will really have to face considerable difficulty.
Daroga, be it so, but I will do what I have promised you. Aye, but please be very careful. You should not get into trouble for it. I do not want you to do any such thing which may cause any harm to your career or which may result in any unpleasant outcome to you.
Daroga, please do not worry. We can handle such matters in many ways. I will find out some ways and means to fulfill the promise I have given you. Blessed indeed are you because you show such a deep concern even for prison officials like me. Let us hope for the best.
After this assurance, he went away, while I sent a message to Bhagat Singh the same day that we would be meeting positively, and by the grace of the Guru it may be quite soon. Rest assured and be prepared, I said.
At last the day came. It was 6 p.m. on 4th October 1930. The news of my release was announced, and everyone was very happy about it. I was sitting in a blissful solitude within my cell. All the patriots rushed towards my cell to break the news to me and congratulate me. The first to come and congratulate me was Bhai Gajan Singh, Master. In a matter of minutes, other patriots gathered around me and read joyfully the orders of release. I was overwhelmed not so much by the joy of release as by the separation I would have to bear from devoted friends like Bhai Kartar Singh of Canada. I was overwhelmed by these dual emotions of joy and sorrow when friends came to bid goodbye with loving embraces. The prison officials stood there ready to carry out the order of my release, but my feet were reluctant to move away from such dear companions. I embraced every one of them, and after a few affectionate words with each one of them, I left them all with tears in their eyes. The stream separated from the river at last.
When I went out of these prison wards, I met Mohammed Akbar near the central dome. He was smiling and coming towards me. On seeing me, he congratulated me for my release. Inattentive to his felicitations, I told him that it was time that he should fulfill his promise. He should not miss the chance. He smiled and said that he had already made arrangement for the meeting with Bhagat Singh. You could now meet him for full 2 hours. I asked him if he had taken permission from the superintendent.
Daroga, before I found it necessary to ask him, the superintendent was already worried and puzzled and was seeking a way out of a difficult situation. His worry is that you should be quietly released, without giving any chance to outsiders to make much noise about your release. He asked me to find a way out of this difficulty. He said, there are regular pickets of people outside who are waiting for the news of the release of political prisoners. As soon as a political prisoner is released, the news spreads like fire, and there is a great noise and hubbub of long processions, which are very disturbing to the government. The government has issued strict instructions that the release should be secret and quiet. You see people sitting near the prison gates in regular pickets till sunset, so you must make some arrangement to send Randir Singh out secretly and quietly so that we may not be blamed for anything later on.
At that very moment, I asked the superintendent not to worry and suggested to him the plan, saying, "You remember, sir, the day Randir Singh came to this prison? Bhagat Singh, who has been sentenced to death, submitted an application for permission to meet him, but you rejected it. I believe that if we now allow him to meet Randir Singh, the meeting may take about 2 hours. It will be quite dark by then, and by 8 p.m. we will send Randir Singh out. Thus, strict secrecy about the release will be maintained. The superintendent was impressed by this suggestion and gladly issued orders to allow this meeting, and you can talk freely as long as you like. I will now give you a warder who will guide you to Bhagat Singh."
So saying, he sent a prison warder with me and ordered him to permit us to have an unrestricted meeting. Bhagat Singh was taking his daily stroll in the prison compound. He had been told about the permission granted for this meeting. On seeing me, he came running towards me. I was standing outside the fence of the courtyard. He came close to the fence and greeted me with great love and affection, bowing low out of reverence. I also folded my hands and greeted him warmly. The warder moved away when we were together. Even the policeman on duty in the compound kept away from us. We were all alone, facing each other.
Bhagat Singh was so overwhelmed by the joy of meeting after months of anxious moments that tears rolled down his eyes. I had hardly met anyone in life who had developed so deep affection and love even before coming into contact with me. It appeared we had known each other for a long time. In a rapturous tone, he said, "Oh, I can hardly say how happy I am today on having met you at last. Day and night I was restlessly longing for just a short meeting with you. At last the blessed moment has come, and my wishes have been fulfilled. After knowing all your great sacrifices and suffering in prison, I had become your keen admirer and passionate devotee. It was the heroism of the great freedom fighters of 1914-15 like you, which inspired insignificant patriot like me. All our revolutionary exploits are nothing compared to the astounding heroic deeds performed by you and your companions. Your own life and struggle for freedom and rights especially impressed me."
Munshi Manna Singh perhaps told you with what passionate longing I was thirsting to meet you and talk to you. I should say that my inner attachment and admiration for you brought you back to Lahore prison after 16 years. When I first sent a message to you within this prison that I was anxious to meet you, I received your divine command to keep the 6 symbols, beard and hair. I am prepared to abide by your wishes. I am really ashamed and am prepared to tell you frankly that I removed my hair and beard under pressing circumstances. It was for the service of the country that my companions compelled me to give up the Sikh appearance and disguise myself as a sannyasin. So it is in association with the irreligious people that I was compelled to show disrespect to my religious symbols. But now I will certainly do whatever you wish me to do."
I was glad to see Bhagat Singh repentant and humble in his present attitude towards religious symbols. I was deeply impressed by his frank statement of facts, but I could not hesitate in expressing my inner feelings, and I said,
"Brother Bhagat Singh Ji, I am deeply touched by your love for me. I am also impressed by your spirit of service and patriotic zeal. But I must tell you, dear brother, that your companions did not give you good advice. You seem to be seeking something very petty, and you became a prey to the evil and mischievous suggestions of your companions. Compared to our times, the period in which you participated in the freedom struggle is a period of great awakening. You could fearlessly take part in the freedom struggle and serve your country and humanity as you wished. But you must be knowing that in our times, few and rare souls felt inspired to dedicate their lives to the cause of freedom. In the Punjab, only a few Sikhs who could be counted on fingertips were politically awake, felt the patriotic fervor to fight for freedom. There was a great feeling and political opposition to the heroic Gather leaders and patriots who had come from Canada and America. Every child in the Punjab was opposed to them. I will give you only one example of the moral courage of the great patriot of those days.
Bhai Nidhyan Singh of Chugga village was a great patriot and fighter for freedom who inspired hundreds of Indians living in foreign countries to come to India and dedicate their lives to freedom struggle. He spent thousands of rupees from his own pocket for freedom struggle, and yet he did not disguise himself. He came openly by sea, but the government at once made elaborate arrangements to arrest him.
He reached India along with his companions without being detected. He could not be arrested. He came to the Punjab and threw himself heart and soul in the freedom struggle. His heroic deeds for the cause of freedom must be known to you. Warrants for his arrest had been issued, his photograph was widely publicized, and a price was set on his head. There was an all-out attempt to arrest him. He moved swiftly from one place to another, organizing the freedom struggle. There was no sympathy and support for these freedom fighters in the public. The patriots depended mostly on Bhai Nidhyan Singh for organization and inspiration. Of course, in fearlessness, there was none so daring as Kartar Singh Saraba. One day, Kartar Singh Saraba feared that Bhai Nidhyan Singh may be arrested. He was the key figure among the freedom fighters, and it was necessary that he should not be arrested soon. Keeping only the political interest in view, we suggested to Bhai Nidhyan Singh that he should dye his beard and thus change his publicized appearance to some extent. Bhai Nidhyan Singh boldly answered that he would never do such a thing and tarnish and disgrace his heroism in the freedom fight.
You can use me as best as you like with this appearance only, and do not make any suggestions which would make me a coward, he said. His companions wanted him to fall a prey to their evil suggestions, but his determination remained unshaken. For organizing the freedom struggle, he traveled 20 to 30 miles a day, and sometimes fearlessly passed close-by police posts. He performed such heroic deeds compared to which your plans were insignificant. He did not even agree to change the color of his beard, while you went to the extent of removing your hair and beard.
Bhagat Singh, actually I did not murder Saunders. I was, of course, accused of having murdered him. I considered it a great heroic deed and so took the credit for it. I confessed that I killed Saunders. Whether there was any benefit in it or not, I nevertheless got the credit for the whole deed. Even otherwise, there was no escape for me.
The ideal of a true patriot is never to seek such petty joys of empty credits. For the joy of getting worldly praise, you did not hesitate to fall from a higher spiritual ideal of becoming an apostate from Sikhism, nor did you ever repent over this fall from a much higher ideal. All that you have achieved by this wrong step is some trumpeting of your name and heroism by some papers. You gave up the Guru's personality for false glory and empty ambition. If you felt that you made a mistake, you should have repented and come back to the Khalsa ideal by maintaining a Sikh-like appearance again. Why did you not do it?
Bhagat Singh: I might have kept the Sikh-like appearance again, but then I would have lost the friendship and sympathy of my comrade B.K. Dutt. Secondly, I would not have got so much publicity as I am getting now. It is true that my sacrifices are insignificant compared to the sacrifices of the freedom fighters of 1914-1915, but after such astounding sacrifices, they did not get any publicity or praise in the papers. The Sikh papers had very limited circulation. Even they did not reveal all facts of the heroic deeds of patriots like you, because their timid policy prevented them from writing anything frankly. It is the non-Sikh papers which published my name widely, and it is through them I have acquired all the glory associated with my name. It is a fact that if I had maintained the Sikh appearance,
and if I had professed myself to be an orthodox Sikh and kept hair and beard, the non-Sikh papers would not have written a word about me, just as they did not write a word about you and your companions. Even out of Sikh papers, the Khalsa Akhbar, Lahore, an Urdu paper, dared to write something about you. I know it for certain that Hindu papers are always reluctant to write even a word in praise of Sikh patriots and freedom fighters. They do not like Sikhs being praised for anything.
If I had kept hair and beard again and become a Sikh, they would have started belittling me instead of praising me. So I hesitated to keep hair and beard again.
On judging what you have said, my dear Bhagat Singh, your ideal of patriotism is very low and frippery. To make such a show of patriotism and service to the country for personal glory is cheap chauvinism and vain jingoism. The patriots of 1914-15 movement suffered and served the country, keeping only the selfless service of the motherland in view. They did not have the slightest thought of such cheap publicity and never even in a dream had any ambition of personal glory. It is only in the company of petty-minded and evil-motivated people that your mind was misled into such vain thoughts of personal glory. The seeking of eminence through newspapers and honor and glory through propaganda are all superficial things about which it is rightly said in the Guru Granth Sahib.
Mad are those who trumpet a man's glory. Shameless is he who accepts such fame. He is like a rat who has tied a winnowing basket to his waist. He now finds it impossible even to get into his hole.
On hearing this, Bhagat Singh was deeply moved and said, "The ideal of Sikhism is no doubt very high. The world in general hankers after empty glory only. I also drifted in the same passion for personal glory, but today I have realized that all these things are idle exhibition of vanity, conceit, and self-glorification. I would have been fortunate if I had got the opportunity of living in close association with you for at least 3 or 4 months. If I had got this opportunity to live in your company for 3 or 4 months, I would have gained much, and all my shortcomings would have disappeared. Now I will do whatever you ask me to do. You now want me to become a Keshadari Sikh. I now admit that I made a great mistake. Even contrary to this healthy family tradition, I went against the Guru's instructions and showed irreverence to the Sikh symbols. But there is one more fact, and I would be committing a sin if I conceal it from you. I kept hair and beard merely because there was a long-standing tradition in our family to do so. I am very proud to be called a Sikh, but the hard fact is that I was never religious at heart. You will excuse me if I tell you in quite plain terms that at heart I am an atheist. I still do not believe in God. All my companions know it. With all that I am willing to do anything you ask me to do. If you command me, I will keep hair and beard. Alas, if only I had got the opportunity to stay near you a little longer, you could have changed my atheistic views.
I am very happy that you have revealed the truth of your inner state of mind and have not concealed what is really in your heart. It is absolutely useless to keep religious symbols like hair and beard while you are an atheist at heart, nor would I be proud of making you do such a thing. I am no more anxious about your coming back to Sikh forms, nor am I sorry that you do not have hair and beard. My only anxiety and wish now is that you should die with faith in God. You will definitely die on the scaffold. It would have been better if your atheism had disappeared before you faced death sentence. Even though you are an atheist, remember one thing, that you will not die. Keep it engraved in your heart that you will not die. You will be born again. Your soul is immortal and ageless. It will never be destroyed. It will be born again and again. Know this for dead.
No, never. Your real self will not be destroyed, and you will never die.
On hearing these words, which were uttered in an inspired mood by the grace of God, Bhagat Singh stood there mute and inwardly moved. For a moment he lost his physical consciousness and his mind soared high. Speechless, he bowed low, as if some unknown power had taken possession of him. For quite some time he remained absorbed in deep silence. I shook him with my hands and helped him to stand. On his face there was a strange glow. He came nearer me, and stretching his hands through the fence, he tried to touch my feet. I held his hands in mine and said that only the Guru's feet are worth worship and not human feet.
I helped him to stand up, and when he had regained control over himself, he said, "Your words have pierced my heart like an arrow. My disbelief and faithlessness have been terribly shaken. A magnetic influence has changed my inner being. Deep down in my heart now I believe that I will not die, and this belief will remain unshaken in my mind, speech, and actions. I am that spirit that death will not destroy. I will not die. After I give up my body, I will be born again. Until
I have gained much more strength. I will now die with great moral and spiritual courage. Your exalted life has imparted to me the elixir of spirituality, and I feel its ennobling influence. I knew one thing about your life, that you always say what you have experienced, and your words and actions are always in unison. Not only am I convinced that I will not die, and that I am immortal Atma, but I am convinced that there is God, and you have had a glimpse of Him. So now you will be extremely pleased to learn that your dear Bhagat Singh is a believer in God, and he will die with complete spiritual faith in Sikhism, and according to the Sikh terminology, I will face not death, but ascension. The word ascension is a beautiful word, and reveals that the soul will rise above the body and go beyond death. After leaving my body, my spirit will ascend heavenwards and will never die. It will be born again and will work for the ideal service of the motherland and the nation. How fruitful has been this meeting with you.
After this significant end of our meeting, we greeted each other and parted in blissful silence. It was quite dark now. I was taken to the office from where I was given unconditional release and sent out of the prison under cover of darkness. I boarded the train from Lahore railway station and came to Amritsar. From Amritsar railway station, I walked to the Golden Temple. A government servant had been given to me to help me in my journey. He carried my bag and bedding and attended to all my needs. Near the clock tower, the servant waited with my luggage while I went inside and had a dip in the holy tank. It was 1 a.m. There I sat in peaceful solitude, meditating on His name. I enjoyed this solitude very much. After meditation, I had a mind to meet some friends, but on second thought, I wanted to keep this pilgrimage to the Golden Temple a secret. I knew that if I met some friends, there will be unnecessary noise of jubilation about the release, and a good deal of trumpeting through processions. I was tempted many times to go and meet Gyani Nahar Singh and Gyani Harbang Singh in the Malwai Banga, but I overcame the temptation. Until daybreak, I enjoyed the divine kirtan of the Golden Temple. Then, quietly, I slipped out of Amritsar and resumed my journey to Ludhiana.
Reaching home.
At Ludhiana, I tried to avoid being detected by anyone, but some friends recognized me and brought a car to take me to my village home, Narangwal. The news spread faster than I expected.
At the village Deblon, there were people waiting to welcome me. At Kila Raipur, there was a large gathering. Bayasa Singh of my village had seen me as soon as I got into the car at Ludhiana, and he went on his bicycle a little ahead of the car and spread the news of my release in the villages. When he reached Narangwal, he saw a group of people sitting on a raised platform in the village gateway. My brother, Atma Singh, was amongst them. He asked them to give a loud cheer of the Khalsa greeting, and then he would give them happy news. Everyone wanted him to release the news first, but when Bayasa Singh insisted on having loud victory cry first, they gave a loud Khalsa victory cry, and Bayasa Singh gave the news of my arrival. On hearing this happy news, there was a wave of joy throughout the village. In the zeal of giving a welcome, people ran to the canal road, and others waited on the main highway to Gujarwal. Some people made preparations for an elaborate welcome at home. Everyone tried to express his love and affection in his own way. Bhai Atma Singh, on hearing the news, jumped from the top of the raised platform and ran home to give the news. The joy of my family on hearing the news knew no bounds.
When we reached Kila Raipur, there was a large crowd waiting for us near the railway station, close to Bhai Narayan Singh's shop. The people expressed their love and affection in so many ways that it is difficult to narrate them.
From here we went to Narangwal. The car moved fast, raising dust all around. As the village neared, I felt quite a different world around me. Everything in the surrounding appeared to be strange. Even the speech of the people appeared to be strange. 16 years is a long period. I could not even recognize the surroundings of my own village. Many people were waiting opposite village Mehma Singh Wala. At the Logar well, when the car turned towards our village, I realized that Narangwal was close by. The car moved on, blowing its horn. I could see the walls of the village, but everything was changed. Many new houses had been built, but this side of our house.
When the car reached the village pond, I could see the Sangat coming nearer. Soon my brother Atma Singh stepped on the slowly moving car and held my arms in a warm embrace. In front, the village people came singing the hymns. I got down from the car and with folded hands stood face to face with the Sangat and humbly greeted them. I joined the Sangat in their divine song and we moved on towards our house. All the persons around me were new faces. I could recognize only Bhai Surjan Singh Defadar, who was an old companion of our Jatha. We were overjoyed to see each other. Slowly we moved on towards the house, performing the kirtan. The whole village had gathered, and all round I could see men and women eagerly coming closer. Tears of joy rolled down the eyes of many who had seen me after such a long separation. A union after a long separation brings a strange and tearful joy sometimes. It was a strange experience. On meeting after such a long time, people could not control their tears. I myself could not control my tears, which flowed incessantly.
At the three-way open space, the congregation sat for divine kirtan. Those playing on the musical instruments were new faces. They sang the divine songs, shabads, with great enthusiasm. The roofs of the houses were covered with people as far as the eye could see. During the short journey, I was not feeling well, and now I was feeling a little feverish. The kirtan ended, and after the distribution of the sacrament, prasad, I was taken home, which was close by. At home, a good many ladies had gathered together. One lady remarked, "Today your mother should have been living to see you back home." "She is here by my side," I replied. I saw my mother in her astral body, blessing me in love and joy. It is difficult to express all the wonderful things that happened that day.
The joy of my wife Kartar Kaur and the rest of the family knew no bounds. She had seen these happy days after years of terrible suffering and sorrow. For 16 years she had been patiently waiting every moment for my return. There was something in her which was constantly telling her that we would meet again. A day before my arrival, she had seen me back home in a dream, and she knew that this dream would come true. She was telling this dream to someone when my brother Atma Singh ran home and gave the news of my arrival. If she had not seen me in a dream, she might not have believed this news, and my sudden arrival might have given her an astounding surprise, which might have had a strange effect on her.
So now she received felicitations from all sides. There was the same happy atmosphere of people gathering and visitors coming which existed 16 years ago. Now there was greater joy and rush than ever before. There were times when she experienced smiting loneliness in the house. Now the house and courtyard were 10 times more blessed than ever before. Her sufferings of many years now ended. Sorrow and suffering are dispelled. There is joy and happiness at home by His grace. Thus ends the briefly narrated story of my 16 years of life in prison.
Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh.